Hey everyone, it's Dr. Detroit here, the doctor is in, and welcome back to our F1 2023 full season playthrough, or I guess you could call it career mode. Today, we're heading back to Jeddah. Yes, we're heading to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Now, it's kind of weird because we went there for the second to last race in our F1 21 full season playthrough. This time around, it's the second race of the year. And I'm a little concerned about that because Saudi Arabia was fun, but that was with a fully upgraded, well, almost a fully upgraded Alpine. We now have the Ferrari, and we don't have too many upgrades currently. But we do have a couple of different upgrades that are actually going to be coming in for us. We're going to have the floor stiffening. We're also going to have a cockpit weight reduction. And it looks like, too, we get to participate in a Pirelli hot lap. But we'll see how that works. So let me just go ahead and show you guys what is going to be happening here. You can see right here that currently we don't really have much going on in the chassis department, but you can see that in the powertrain and the aerodynamic area, as well as durability, you know, things are moving swimmingly. And you can also see where we are in terms of the performance charts. We are currently just one space below Red Bull, and we might be able to bypass them during the season. You can see here, all of our stuff has been wearing perfectly evenly, so we may or may not need to worry about the other stuff, like the energy store and the control electronics or anything like that. And then, of course, over here in the standings, let's go back over here really quick. We currently are the points leader because we won at Bahrain, and you can see our teammate Charles Leclerc is currently 4th in the standings. And so far, we have shown the world that we can definitely win. But the next few races I'm a little bit concerned about, because take a look at this weird stretch of races. So today it's Saudi Arabia, then we go to Australia, then we head to Azerbaijan, Baku, then we head to the new racetrack in Miami, Imola, and Monaco. Out of all these races, the only one that we finished strongly at was Saudi Arabia when we won. Australia, we crashed out. Azerbaijan, we finished 12th. Miami, we've never raced before. Imola was a DNF, and Monaco was practically a DNF as well. But we'll see what happens, because once we get to Spain, which is a couple of videos down the road, I have a feeling that we'll be just fine when we get to Spain, because then that stretch of races can definitely help us if we end up falling back too much. So let's go ahead and advance the time and get everything on there, including getting some more weekly resources for our beautiful Ferrari.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Okay, so the Pirelli hot lap. Let's see, choose average speed zone. Oh, okay, I guess we're going in. I'm not even sure what the heck this is, but I might as well go ahead and put it here on video, because I guess we're gonna get to do some Pirelli hot lap stuff. But let's see what this is all about. Okay. Ah, I see what you do. Okay. Take on a challenging section of the circuit in which the average speed is measured. The best speed over 3 attempts is the final result, but be careful not to leave the circuit, as that will invalidate the round. Okay, so we get to drive the McLaren 720S. Okay, this should be interesting. But let's go ahead and get rolling with it. But first, I want to do this. I want to up the sound a little bit, because I can barely hear it. Let's go ahead and bring back the master volume to 6. And let's see what we can do. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Never done this before, but let's see what we can do. Ooh, this thing is tight. This thing is really tight. So the target speed is 98 miles an hour, but we should be okay. Oh man, this thing's got no horsepower whatsoever, and that was pretty bad. Yeah, that put us just above silver. So that's round 1 of 3. So okay. So here we go again, another attempt. See if we can make it a little bit better. See if we can do this just a tiny bit better. Jeez. You know what? This car is like really, really, really tight. Okay, so let's try this. Now bring it closer to the bottom. See if we can't make this a little bit better. There we go. So that's another silver medal, it looks like. No, actually, that's gold. Nice. So we got a silver and a gold right now. All right. Here's our final attempt. There we go. And now we're starting to get it. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. We just got to get above 98 miles an hour with this. Come on, baby, 98. Come on, 98, 98, 98, 98. Ah, so dang close. But we did get a gold. So, cool thing. Alright, so that gave us a little bit more on the podium pass, it looks like. So, okay. So I guess... Alright, so I guess that's the average right there, is a 98.24 mile an hour, which is enough to give us some more stuff. That's cool. That's really cool. Alright, so I guess we get to do that sometimes, and I'll tell you one thing. If we do get to do some more Pirelli Hot Laps later in the season, I'll continue to show them here in the pre-show, which means this video is going to be a little bit longer than traditional stuff. So anyway, let's go back to the garage area really quick. There it is. All right, I'm gonna go get this car practiced and qualified, and then I'm gonna meet you guys on the grid momentarily so we can start the Jeddah Grand Prix.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. The scientist lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Joe, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Albon, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Anthony Davidson alongside me, as always, to talk you through the action. Let's talk about the scientist.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Well, hopefully it's going to be a win. But yeah, as you guys saw, we beat out Max Verstappen by 7/1000ths of a second. Good grief. Yeah, this car was not so good in practice. However, I added a little bit more downforce to it, and it actually helped out. So let's take a look at the strategies here, and as you can see, once again, it's another one of those one-stop strats that are actually kind of cool. But we also have the fact that, you know, these guys can also do the soft, medium, mediums. But this one here would take a little less time, so we're going to stay with that for sure, and we're going to see how good we go. It's a 25 lap race, and I'm excited to get this race underway. I will say this is not my best track whatsoever, but we're going to see if we can recapture the magic that we did at when we were here back in F1 21. So if you're ready and you look ready, let's do it to it. Alright, we're going to go on to the formation lap here and get everybody rolling.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
And I see that a lot of teams are starting on the softs and we're starting on mediums. But, you know, because we're going to go on the one-stop strategy, it's going to be okay. I mean, for the first few laps, we are going to be a little bit on the struggle side, especially considering the fact that everybody's going to be on the softs. But don't worry, we're going to be just fine as we make our way through the little sectors here. And maybe we might see some yellow flags. We might even see who knows.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Oh, believe me, if there was rain in the desert, I'd be extremely surprised. But you know, stranger things have happened, and hopefully we don't get a red flag in this race, but there's a good chance we might, depending on what happens. But as you can see, our biggest competition is going to be those Red Bulls and Max Verstappen. But we're going to see what we can do. My teammate Leclerc is right there in third place. By the way, during free practice 1, while I was doing the practice, what do you call it, the R&D stuff, I actually was second fastest to Leclerc by 2 1/1000ths of a second. So we know that these cars are going to be really fast. We just got to be really careful with them, and we just got to keep our nose clean and see if we can bonsai Verstappen. We might have to use a little bit of overtake on the start, but we'll see. Alright, let's not hit the wall there. Qatar Airlines there. But anyway, normally the AI would take over the car at this point, but we get to park our car on our own. Here we go, back around to the final corner. And now we're going to come here to the start-finish line and get put into our grid spot, or we're going to put ourselves in our own grid spot. It's going to be really fun. 25 laps will make up the running. I'm really excited to see how this Ferrari will go, and how everything will go as Max Verstappen gets ahead of us. Thank goodness this is just the, just the other stuff. Here we go. We just gotta nail it right here. Got it.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
All right, here we go,
Okay,
everyone.
so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
Yep, those lights are gonna be coming on here any second. We just gotta see what we can do. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go, go, go! Oh, I couldn't even get the car into first gear for a second as we go down into turn 1. Max Verstappen hits the wall a little bit, but I don't think that's going to cause any problems. But we now take off onto the front, and I think Verstappen has some wing damage. I can't tell exactly if he did or not, but I could tell in the rearview mirror that something was not right with the front of his car, but we'll see what happens as we make our way through the corners. Yes, I am going off. Yes, I am going off course here because the car right now is really tight. Right now we have a decent lead as we make our way through this corner. Now here comes Max Verstappen back up behind us. It looks like Verstappen did not receive any damage, so that's fine. He's going to be our thorn in our side for a while in this race, but again, we got the better jump on him. In fact, I didn't even have to use my overtake too much. But anyway, right now we have the lead as there's Max Verstappen right behind us. He's really gaining on our back bumper here. He's really going to try and make the move for the race lead. Can't get it done. Also, Sergio Perez's teammate has bonsai'd Charles Leclerc. He's now been in the 3rd position. George Russell, the butler, is currently in 5th. But now, here we go. Battle for the race lead. Max Verstappen to the outside. Trying to take the lead away, but I don't think that's going to work because we're going to have to get through to this next corner. Oh, tight racing there, as now there's a four-way battle for the race lead. Here we go, down the front straightaway. To complete lap number 1, we use our overtake to try and get away from them, as now Charles Leclerc will file back into 4th place, as now the Red Bull teammates are going to be right there in 2nd and 3rd. Meanwhile, there's some more action as Lewis Hamilton now has gone up into the 5th position. Charles Leclerc now up to 3rd. Good Lord. I'll tell you, it's more exciting in this race than it was in F1 2021. I'll tell you that right now, because the AI actually know when to take chances, which hopefully that'll be for the rest of the year. Anyway, down the straightaway we go. We're going to use a little bit of our overtake just to give them a little bit of a space here. Now we get through the bank turn. I'm not even going to number the turns here because they're just way too many turns here at this place. Right now we have the race lead ahead of Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc is 3rd, Sergio Perez 4th, and Lewis Hamilton is bonsai to Butler for 5th place. Now, as we get through this, as we go through this race, there's going to definitely be a lot of more things that are going to be happening. As now here comes Max Verstappen. He tried to get the outside again. Can't get it done because he knows that wasn't going to work. But now we're going to be battling Max Verstappen here as he goes down to the inside. We do not give him the line because he was going to have to back off right there. Now we get a little bit better acceleration off the corner. DRS will be enabled this lap, this time around. That means everybody can get it. Oh!
This lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Alright, so that means we got to get that fastest lap back from Max Verstappen if we can. But right now we got to be really careful here with all this. We'll see what happens with this as we make our way through the corners. Try and see if we can get better with this run as we currently lead the way here at the Jeddah Grand Prix or the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. See if we can get the fastest lap back from Max Verstappen. We are going to have to be really careful on our overtake, unfortunately, because right now we're a little bit lower on that as we go purple in Sector 1. And remember, we're the only team, I think we might be one of the only teams that are on the medium tires to start off the race with, because we are on the main strategy, but we decided to go with the mediums apparently. Now as we make our way around, we have about a 1.5 second lead ahead of Max Verstappen, so I think we're going to be okay for right now. Let's take it nice and easy through there. We were green through that sector. We did lose a little bit of time to Verstappen, but not too much, because right now this car is doing really good. We just want to get that fastest lap back. That way we don't have to worry about it late in the going. I mean, we could wait until we get on the hard tires, but I don't think I want to do that. Now, as we continue through here, no DRS for Max Verstappen, but my teammate Charles Leclerc might get it, as now we take back the fastest lap.
That's a new fastest lap of the race.
Make our way through the corners here. Now, those soft tires are always going to be really helpful at the very beginning, but with the way the mediums and the tire wear works here, sometimes it's better to take these tires because they won't wear out as fast. Had a little bit of a cock up there, but that's okay. And oh yes, I did want to say this. I did add a little bit of front and rear downforce to this car, so that way we can actually hit the gas a little bit better. Because every time I was hitting the gas during practice, the car would actually lose the rear end, even if you put a little bit of it in. I'm not 100% sure if that's a glitch or if that's just something that they added here to make sure that you couldn't flat-foot it around these forces or something. I really don't know. As we make our way down the back straightaways, we now head into these corners. Get it nice and easy. This is where we lose a lot of time, it seems. This is where we seem to lose the time. But once we get here into the final corner, this is where we make it up a lot. And I'm also hoping that we can gain back some of our overtake, because now Verstappen has close to the back of us, but it's not going to be enough to do anything with us right now. We continue to lead the race here on lap 5, as now it's a Ferrari 1-2, as Charles Leclerc has made the move to get around Max Verstappen. So look at this, everybody. It only happened a few times when we were at Alpine, but now the Ferraris run 1-2. Pretty neat, huh? Kind of reminds me of back when we were doing Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello, or, you know, Michael Schumacher and whoever else was driving at the time, or even Giancarlo Fisichella. So now he's up there. Now he's up there in second place. Looks like Max Verstappen's falling back a little bit, but we're gonna use this opportunity to kind of like regain some of the overtake that we had to use. So we're gonna go ahead and not use the overtake right now, and just do what we can do. Just be nice and easy through here. Now, it's funny though, because we started the year here with 2 different races from the Middle East, and then we head to Australia for our next race, which that one I'm very concerned about, but I tested there a little bit ago, and I think we have a pretty decent car. We'll see what happens. It looks like, yeah, we're losing, we keep losing time in that one little sector, but right now it's okay, as now Verstappen has now made the pass on Charles Leclerc, but Leclerc said, no way, Jose, stay back there. Sergio Perez hangs on to the 4th position, and Lewis Hamilton is currently in the 5th position, but he might make the attempt to pass Sergio Perez, but I don't know if he can do that, especially not with that W14 that he has, because apparently he hates it a lot, and now Leclerc and Verstappen are dogfighting for second place. But it looks like Leclerc is going to get the advantage. You know, I've discovered a lot of differences between this car and our Alpine back in F1 21. The aero is definitely a lot less, so we can't really hold the corners a lot better as we could back in the other game. Plus, we are just a touch slower, because I think they made these cars way more heavy, and with the less downforce, it kind of makes the cars a little bit trickier to kind of like, you know, manhandle a little bit, as we almost lose control there, but now we got a 3.5-second lead ahead of Charles Leclerc, our teammate. If we can go 1-2 in this race, that would just be awesome. That would really help us in the points too, because as we go into some of these other races, it may be Leclerc that I'm going to have to rely on, especially if we have any issues in any of the races coming up. So far we are doing really well. I'm also kind of glad that we're getting this track out of the way now, as now Sergio Perez tried to make the pass on Verstappen, but Verstappen decided nope, and go back to the front, or go back to the front of him. The thing that I'm a little worried about is that little stretch of races that we have with Azerbaijan and Monaco, because those are all the different tracks I have trouble with. But once we get to Spain, once we get to those places, that's where we really shine. So that's why we need to get every point possible within these next 3 races, because if we have any trouble at any of those races, it could lose us the front spot and could lose us the Constructors' title, as we continue to hit those little curves and it just catches the car really badly. Because now I've lost all that precious ground because that one curve keeps catching my car. But we'll rebuild that lead slowly. And also, you know, it is race number 2, but I'm already thinking about the championship because, you know, there is, you know, a total of 26 points. There's a total of 26 points in the line if you were to get the fastest lap and win. I missed my points. I thought we were at the back of the track. God damn it. Let's reboot that. Let us do that again, because that was my fault. Here we go. Let's try this. Alright, let's try this move again. There we go. See, now we made it just fine. We can also see too that once again, that's the sector where we lose the most time at. You see everybody's trying to get closer to me, but notice how nobody else has gotten the faster lap than me. I think it's because we have, you know, better track ahead of us, despite the fact that everybody else, you know, would be drafting back there, or at least in the toe, or slipstream, however way you guys put it. And, uh-oh, Leclerc's in the pits.
In for his stop now.
Oh, he's on the alternate strategy, I bet. So I think a lot of these teams are on the alternate strategy. Alright. So, let's see.
You're leading the pack, that's P1. And Verstappen's behind. Our gap behind is 1.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. You've got 4 laps until your pit window opens. Okay, 18 laps to go.
Alright, so we still got some time before we gotta come to pit road. So, pretty much we're going to be out here in the race lead again, but I wonder if anybody's gonna gain any time on us. That is going to be what will be interesting. And you can see we've almost regained all of our overtake back. Just wanted to get back to 100% here before we have to use it again. Because I know right now that we're starting to struggle a little bit, and also, you know, when you have, you know, when it's the seasonal changes, you know, sometimes you get really snuffed up, and it's really difficult to focus sometimes. But right now we are doing really good. And I think we're actually making some good progress. Now this is where. Alright, so we gained a slight bit of time there, but nothing too fancy. We'll be coming to pit road here pretty soon. So Leclerc has come to pit road. We'll see if anybody else comes to pit road and does their stop. But I'm pretty sure that they will do that. That they will come to pit road, because they got to get off those softs at some point. I mean, the softs don't really work that well unless you have like a later stop. So Leclerc came to pit road. He was probably the first of the lead pack to come in, but now we just gotta wait and see how this goes.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Alright, thank you for telling me that, Jeff. Or whoever the hell your name is. See, there we go. Now we made it a little bit better there, but just had to be really careful with the way that we got over the humps. I do know one thing. We do have a lot of research points, or I think it's called...
The gap behind is 2.8 seconds.
We do have a lot of resource points that I picked up from practice, so one of the things that we'll be doing is that I'll be working with the chassis as well as the aero and stuff. The engine power I think we're good with right now. I don't think we really need to develop too much with the engine power. I think we just need to get the handling down, and once the handling comes in, then we'll have a...
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
And then we'll have a rocket ship. I don't really want to use the overtake right now. I just wanted to come back up, and I just really wanted to rebuild, just so that we have some, in case we need to do something on the power lap. But right now, we continue to lead the way. Verstappen is second, Sergio Perez is third, fourth is Lewis Hamilton, and fifth is his teammate George Russell. In fact, George Russell was actually in the F1 21 game, and we kept lapping him. We kept lapping him back there when he was in
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
And he was in the other car, the Williams. As right now, Sergio Perez has taken the second place away from Max Verstappen, but Verstappen says nope. And now more people are coming in. It looks like George Russell is having a little how do you do moment with Lando Norris. So Norris now shows a wheel up there in the 5th position. Ooh boy, watch it, baby. God, we were just having all kinds of problems right there. We used to take that flat out in the other game, but now you can't. We still have a pretty good lead. We have about a 2.9 second lead, almost 3 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen. So we'll be coming to pit road here pretty darn soon. We'll be doing just a 1 stop for this one. We don't really need to do 2 stops right now unless the track, calls for it. Also, it's a shame we're not going back to France in this game, just because I love that place. I thought it was kind of cool to go around Magny Course and have some, or I think it was actually Paul Rickard, and we did pretty well there, even in the rain. But anyway, as we make our way around here to the front straightaway once again, you'll see that the bleeding...
Some information on Perez. They seem to have an issue.
Ooh, that's gonna really hurt the Red Bulls if that's the case. And there's a caution in sector 3 because I think Sergio I think Sergio Perez is retiring from the race. Yeah, there's a blue dot that's going really slow. I don't know what happened to him, but he's now... Well, Verstappen's coming to pit road now. So I don't know what's going to happen with Perez, but I think Sergio Perez might be out of the Grand Prix. Or maybe he's got some wheel issue, I don't know. But there he is on pit road with Verstappen. So that puts the Mercedes duo currently in second and third. They're going to have to come to pit road at some point here. And we'll be coming in here pretty soon as well. So right now, this one-stopper strategy is looking pretty good. As now welcome Oscar Pistari and Pierre Gasly into the top 5. As those drivers have yet to make their fuel stops. Or their pit stops, I could say. There's no refueling in this sport. Which is kind of weird. I kind of wish they did. Because I think that would be really cool. Is that if they brought back refueling, you would definitely see a plethora of strategies, including, you know, do you go ahead and take fuel, do you not? But whatever. Anyway, our overtake is back up to full snuff. I'll just keep an eye on everything that we're doing here. Kind of messed up back corner just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll be coming to pit road here very soon. And it looks like Oscar Pistari is another driver that is also on the alternate strategy, which is what we're using. Anyway, we come back around here to complete lap number 12, so we should be coming to pit road next time by. At least I think that's what we're going to be doing. Yep.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
Alright, so we're going to be coming in this time by for the hards. And for hard tires, Lewis Hamilton's come to pit road. So now they've left George Russell out there for a little bit, so now the Butler goes to second. Oscar Pistari will now go to third, and now welcome Lance Stroll into the top 5 as I go over the goddamn pumps. And that thing gets caught. Now, I see Max Verstappen right there. He did come to pit road, but here's the thing. He's got a 26-second deficit right now. This is where we're going to have to use our overtake and see if we can gain a little bit of a gap, because here's what's going to have to happen. When we come to pit road, when the lead cycles back out, it's either going to go to me or Verstappen. And Verstappen's on the medium tires, so he's going to be a little bit better. But, as we've seen in the past, when the mediums wear out, the hard tires come in beautifully. So let's just see what happens. But we can't afford to stay out here any more laps than we need to. We're going to come in this time by, and we're going to see exactly where Verstappen is and see if we can beat him out of pit road. Or see if we can beat him and see if he won't take the race lead away. Anyway, here we go. We got about a 24-second advantage ahead of him. Here we go, coming to pit road. Take it nice and hard right here. All right, let's see what happens. As we come to pit road, here we come onto the pits. Here we go. Off come the mediums, on go the hards. Beautiful pit stop.
Here we go. No problems, really smooth. Ferrari, no doubt, very happy with that stop.
Yep. All right, now we just got to keep an eye out. Where is Verstappen? Oh, there's Verstappen right there. He's going to overtake us easily.
Now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
And he just took the fastest lap away from us, but we are going to make sure that we can get him, because right there, we are right there behind him on these new sets of tires. Hello, hello Verstappen. Goodbye, Verstappen. So we take over the race lead again, because now we have fresh hards while he has a couple of laps on his mediums. And now, our mission is to try and see if we can take the fastest lap away from Max Verstappen as soon as we can. Because I would absolutely love to keep our streak alive of having the fastest lap in almost every race. There's Verstappen. I don't think there's anything that he can really do, especially with the fact that we have the fresher tires. So let's see what happens as we make our way through this sector. This is usually where the car was having a harder time, but right now he's only a half a second behind us. Now, we can't get the fastest lap on this lap, but on the next one, we absolutely can. We'll just see how well this goes, and see if we can get something going. Oh, I messed up just a little bit, but Verstappen had to back off big time right there. So now he's going to have to try and see if he can catch up to us, but right now I don't think he can, but look at that. He is coming up quick. Is he going to take the lead away from us? He comes in. Contact was made. Oh, contact. Big contact was made. Wow. He really took us way down there, but he may have some damage because he's dropping like a dead duck now. But now let's see if we can actually get that fastest lap back on these hards. It would be pretty hilarious to do, but we'll see if that's the case. A little bit of our overtake here, just to give us a bit more welly, as they would say. We got a little bit on the curb. Just gotta try and see if we can get through. Go ahead and use some of my overtake here on these bits here. If we get through to this side, there we go. Now we'll see where we go here in the purple sector. Yes, we go purple in sector 1. Now let's go back here in a turn into sector 2. See if we can make it purple as well. We're going to have to be really careful here with our overtake because, you know, right now it's down to 48%, and the rejuvenation rate is very slow. But I think we can get that faster as the year progresses, but we'll see what happens. But now we just got to get here onto the front straightaway and see if we can do something with this. Alright, so we went green in that sector. So this might hurt us, but let's see what happens. I'm going to try everything we can. Just keep it a little bit open there. Make sure we have enough for the front straightaway. We'll keep turning it off and turning it back on. Here we go, into the corner. Nice and tidy through there. Now, full throttle down the straightaway, full DRS, or not full DRS, full energy reduction. Here we go. And put us back to P1.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Of course, it didn't tell us what kind of lap we ran. Oh, we ran a 134.4, so wow. So this thing is fast. So, now that we've had a chance to catch our breath a little bit, we got 11 laps to go now in this race. Here's what the top 5 looks like. We have the race lead and the fastest lap currently. Max Verstappen is second. Third is Lewis Hamilton. Fourth is Charles Leclerc. And fifth is Sergio Perez. So I don't know what kind of issue Perez had, but he's back in the top 5. And it looks like we're probably not going to put any cars a lap down in this race. So right now, we have the race lead. And we're just pulling away slowly but surely. This kind of feels like what we kind of did in Bahrain with the one-stop strats. But next time around, we'll have 10 laps of racing to go. I don't think we have to worry about any rain or anything like that here. Nice and easy through there. Now just keeping an eye on everybody else that's behind us. I think some of these drivers might end up having an alternate strategy of going to the softs. Or I wonder what their idea is, because I don't think that they'll be able to make it all the way on those mediums, but we'll have to see. Alright, now we just gotta wait for our overtake to kind of come back, because right now we're a sitting duck. Right now we are absolutely a sitting duck, because we used up all of our overtake there just to get the fastest lap. But the big problem about this track is that there's really no good places to really get it back. So we'll just have to be consistent and try to see what we can do. Maybe have to let off the throttle, maybe have to do this and that and the other. You know, there's a lot of different ways that we can gain it back, you know. So if you gain it back through the corners and when you're off the gas. And right now we have a 3.5 second lead still on Max Verstappen, which is actually pretty awesome, considering what happened in qualifying and practice. Now Lewis Hamilton moves to third position, and Perez now puts Charles Leclerc back down to the 5th position. And it looks like Leclerc is starting to fall back a little bit. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had some issues or what's going on, but now he's out of the top 5, which is not good for us in terms of the Constructors' titles. But, like I said, it is, you know, it is only the second race of the season, so it's still pretty early, but I want to make sure that we get enough points so that we can keep ourselves ahead of Verstappen and the others. I mean, we'll be able to do it driver title-wise, but not this way. Oh my god. Let's see through there. Okay.
gap to your teammate behind is 0.3 seconds.
Alright, so the teammate behind us is now... Oh, well, okay, gap to the teammates, 0.3 seconds. What? Okay, very strange.
Charles is in the pits.
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because everybody's on the two-stopper except us. Alright, so that means we're going to find out exactly who is on what strategy once everybody comes to pit road. But hopefully, because of the fact that Leclerc came into pit road first, most likely he should cycle back out to either in front of Verstappen or behind him somewhere. So Leclerc's on pit road, and let's just hope that at some point he can get back up here into the top 5 and then we'll be just fine. So right now, it is Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren up there. You can see that we are slowly starting to gain back our overtake, which is grand news. But we don't have to use it right now. In fact, I think we're going to just, you know, be cool about it. Let's see what happens here as we make our way through the final corner and get here to the front straight away. This race has actually been very exciting to drive, and you know, this place, Saudi Arabia, is really beautiful. And by the way, too, for anybody that's watching that actually might get seasick because of all the colors and all the things and stuff like that, I'm gonna take you guys for a little lap around here while we're leaving. So one of the things that is very important to do is to not look down at the track itself, because if you don't have your sea legs, you know, your mind is not going to preside over this. Instead, take a look at my car right there. Take a look at my helmet. All right, or even you know, just take a look at something stationary. Now look back up at the screen and see that big green thing coming at us. I use that as kind of like my little benchmark, because the thing is that when you're racing out here, you want to focus on something stationary, like that Rolex billboard, or maybe something coming up here, like maybe that Ferris wheel. I focus on for just a few seconds. And as we continue down this way, there's a pedestrian bridge, or actually not a pedestrian bridge. That's the one. And that's how I actually, you know, stay, you know, without being seasick. Because if you're just looking at the walls that are like going past really fast, then your mind is not going to. Your mind is not going to, you know, process it enough. So that's where we come in with all this. And that's one of the things about being a sim racer, as well as also it helps you in real life. And, you know, if you feel like that you're starting to get a little nauseated, then just look down at the car. You know, look down here at the car. Look where it says Richard Mille. Look at where the Shell logo is, or AWS. You know, something stationary that you can look at, so that way you don't have to worry about, you know, anything else. Now, this is also, too, a night race, and we've already had, like, you know, 2 night races in a row, but we'll see what happens when we go into the daytime. But I really like night racing for Formula 1 because it's always really cool and the cars look so neat, especially with our beautiful red. Now, I have not yet seen anybody else come to pit road, and I'm starting to think, did Leclerc have an issue? Like, did he have a big enough issue that he had to come to pit road and get some stuff changed out? Because I'm starting to think, nobody's really coming in this late in the race. So who knows? We still got about a 3.5 second lead ahead of Max Verstappen, which is really good. And next week we head to Australia, or the next race we go to is the Australian GP. That one I'm a little concerned about, but I think we're going to be okay for that, because we have a really good setup for that place, and I think we're just going to be a lot better there maybe, but we'll see. We also got to be careful with Azerbaijan, which is going to be the race after that, but, you know, things can happen. Weird things can happen, that is. As you can see, it's taken us quite a few laps to get back our overtake. At least now about half of it. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to take a look-see here at our wear indicators, and as you can see, we are definitely using up the gearbox, and we are definitely using up a lot of things. But we're going to be okay. I mean, yeah, further down the line, we may have to take a grid penalty here and there, but for right now, we'll just see what we can do with this. almost hit that wall. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez is battling with George Russell to try and take over 4th place. It looks like Perez will get over it. Still got a nice, healthy 3.8 second lead ahead of Max Verstappen. I wonder what happened there, because it seemed like he's having some issues. Also, it's kind of cool to see my name right there next to the Ferrari logo, because you guys, the fans, chose this. And I kind of have an interesting idea. Now, it all depends on how good the season goes. It depends on how well I feel with all of this. But maybe we might do a season 3. Like maybe this would be a second season here, or it might be something else. I don't know, because the next F1 game is probably not going to be on the PS4, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. But for now, we're going to continue to push on in this series. We now have just 5 laps of racing to go.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Beautiful. So I also gave us a little bit of extra fuel too, because I had to really work it there because the car just is starting to. I can definitely tell the rear end is really starting to kick out a little bit, especially on these soft tires. We're gonna have to figure out something there with the rear downforce. Definitely need to get it improved so that way the car does not juke out like that. But yeah, I don't see anybody else coming to pit road, so I guess Leclerc must have had some sort of damage. We'll have to see what happens with that. I kind of wish that, I think they also would announce if there was a penalty or something for, avoidable contact or something. I know they do it for you, but not for the other drivers or whatnot. But you know what? I'm kind of glad that we are getting this track out of the way, because I'm starting to get a little bit tired of this place. It's like I see it almost everywhere I go. I mean, it is a fun circuit, but it is very annoying with all these different turns and everything. Anyways, we make our way here into the final sector and now down into the final turn to get towards the front portion. We now come onto the line, and there will be 4 laps of racing to go. But you can see that everybody is pretty much close, or very close, or within each other. So really, I don't think we're going to be putting anybody a lap down. But we'll have to wait and see as we go into the other races, such as like Nagadich or Canada or anything, or even some of the shorter ones. Like, I can't wait for us to get to Austria, because I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, that is a really great track, and it's a very underrated type track for this series, because it's way more fun than what a lot of people say. Anyway, we almost have all of our overtake back. We still need about that last 3/4 of the way, but I'm just kind of seeing how fast it rejuvenates. And I'm sure it'll rejuvenate faster when we get to places like Australia or some of those other places. I mean, I know it's not going to rejuvenate very fast when we get to Azerbaijan, but we'll see. Right now, we continue to lead Max Verstappen by about 5.8 seconds, which is to be expected in a way, especially with the fact that we're still on these hard tires and just really pulling away from the competition. But I'm also starting to think that somehow they're managing to kind of. I mean, right here, they're still able to gain just a little bit, but beyond that, nothing else.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Alright. Ooh, there's a caution in Sector 3. I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure what exactly took place, but I think Verstappen may have hit the wall or something. I don't know, but we do get the resume racing deal. I'm glad they actually use the graphics that are used.
Information on Verstappen. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Oh my goodness! So Max Verstappen is out! Verstappen is out of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix which means it's going to be a double points day for the Mercedes. Unless Sergio Perez can do something about it and break that up. But oh my goodness. So our biggest title rival, and the one that was doing so well, is now, hang on, rewind that a little bit. So our biggest title rival, and the one who we were beating out in qualifying, is now out of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Wow. Wonder how that's going to affect him down the line. But that also means, too, he's the first car out of it, which means he will receive 0 points for this race. Wow. That is bad for him, but good for us.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Nice. So now without him, that may have opened up the doors wide. Because look at that. Lewis Hamilton is about 10 seconds behind us, but, you know, that car is not so strong.
Caution.
Okay, so we got the caution thing, but I think we're okay. Yeah, because they already got rid of Verstappen's car, so wow. So Verstappen is out, and now we have just 2 laps of racing to go, and you can see that, man, there's a lot of things here, as now Sergio Perez has gotten around George Russell. No, he has not. So we'll see how this goes. Oh my goodness.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
That's fine. Almost lost control of the vehicle there because, you know, this game just doesn't know anything about rear grip. I mean, we had a rear grip issue many moons ago with our Alpine, if you remember the infamous Imola race. Let's go ahead and use a little bit of our overtake here. Just go ahead and use a little bit, just to kind of boost ourselves forward a little bit more. And right now, George Russell continues to run third, but I don't know if Sergio Perez is going to try it again or see if he's going to get around him. Lando Norris, I don't think.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Oh boy, we might run out of fuel. I hope not. Ooh, do you see that? Okay, I just saw that right there. So we gotta be really cautious here with the fuel. Because if you notice, our fuel load, we only have like enough for this. So we gotta be really cautious here with this fuel load. But we got a big enough lead that we're gonna need to be really careful. So here we go. We're gonna be coming around here to the white flag presented by Ally Bank. So we gotta be really careful with this fuel situation because yikes.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Alright, final lap of the race. Let's just make sure the fuel holds out as we continue our way around the track. We're going to...
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 38.5 seconds.
Now the good news here is that we have enough of a gap that we can actually, you know, save some fuel right now. But boy, you see that right now? We still have about plus half a lap. So that means we can actually be okay, but I want to get that just a tiny bit higher if we can, but I think it's going to stay in the 40s. So for right now, let's just keep an eye on it. But we are on the white flag lap, so we should be okay. But I am going to have to speak to the boys about, you know, adding some more fuel to the car, or making the car a little bit more fuel efficient when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I think we don't have to worry too much about it. Anyway, we got a little bit of damage to that front wing as I mess up the corner big time. But that's okay, we kept ourselves going. Right now, let's keep ourselves focused here as we make our way through the final couple of turns. And this is going to be really great. We started on the pole. We got the fastest lap away from Max Verstappen. And it looks like we're going to take the Ferrari to another victory. And this will be our 2nd win of the season. But it's been a fun race. And I'm so glad to get out of the Middle East. Coming out of the final corner, Perez will finish 3rd, Lewis Hamilton 2nd, and we will take home the win in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Oh yeah.
That's a race win and your 2nd race win in a row. Fantastic job.
Oh yeah. Ferrari domination. And my teammate got driver of the day. Good job for him. Want to see where he finished, though.
A sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Beautiful. So it's our second win of the year. I like how they do it. I like how they do it now, just like on the television coverage. Thank you, Perez. And of course, they got Lewis Hamilton's ponytail.
Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. The scientist increases their championship lead. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the scientist.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Okay, wait a minute. Leclerc got driver of the day, but when did Pierre Gasly fall out of the race? That's strange. That is really, really weird. I almost want to go back and see... I almost kind of want to go back and see what happened to Pierre Gasly, because it was never told to us. So let's see. Let's see if we can find Gasly. There he is. Alright, let's see if we can sort out where he was running. Oh, and it's an Alpine, too. That makes me a little sad. Let's see. See if we can figure out exactly where he was running at the time. Let's see. Let's go right here. So he had 8th place all to himself, it looks like. So like what? Did the engine let go? Oh, right here. Alright, let's take a listen. Ooh, something busted. But that's strange how... But that is... Whoa! Oh, that's gotta be a sickening feeling right there. And then he finds a good spot to retire the car. So he pulls it off right there. And then the car just gives out. Man, that's truly a shame for these guys at Alpine. I feel for them. But, obviously, let's take a look at the standings really quick. And you can see that we have a 22-point lead ahead of Sergio Perez, so not quite a race. So not quite a race lead yet, but we do have a little bit more. And man, Max Verstappen really fell down there. In Ferrari, yeah, so 22 seems to be the number for us, which is kind of nice. But wow, that was fun. I'm just glad to be out of Saudi Arabia. Alright, so we got a bunch of new pieces and parts for us, and we get another Pirelli hot lap, too. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode, and I'll see you guys at the next race. If you guys want to see more of these, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to comment, and also subscribe. See you guys next time we take on the Australian Grand Prix. Until then, take care.